Howdy crafty friends, it's Cheri and I'm back in the craft camper for another edition of Will It Crank. The yarn we're going to be using today is Big Twist Fleck. Big Twist Fleck. I have tried all kinds of Big Twist yarns, and this one I actually have not tried yet, the Fleck. It has a little bit, can you see the halo fuzzy? It's very soft, but it has a lot of fuzz on it. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's 208 yards, 190 meters, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, but it's made up, it's not, let me see, where's the thingy. It's 85% acrylic, 10% is polyamide, and 5% linen. So it's a little different. So we'll see how this does. It is a 4-weight, and the colorway, which I always forget to tell you, is called Popsicle. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like a pink, and it has a little bit of green fleck in there and maybe some yellow fleck. Yeah, kind of cotton candy-ish a little bit. All right, let's see how it does. Okay, so I have my machine all clamped down. I'm going to use the Sentro 48 because it's the persnickety machine that I own, the one that's usually the pickiest. But as I was looking at this yarn a little closer, I have to show you something. I don't know if the camera can capture this. See this like right here? Kind of looks like, when I was first looking at this, I'm like, I don't think my dog hair looks like that from our dogs. This is actually, I think, what is it called? The polyamide or whatever. See that? I'm not sure how I feel about that, guys, because all I want to do is sit here and pick this out. But I think that's what gives it some of this halo type of fuzziness. But see, I kind of feel like, I don't know. Well, let's knit it up, see how it does, and I'll give you a final what I think at the end. But right now, all I want to do is like pick that out of there. So that might bug me. We'll see. All right, let's get into it. Before I cast on, I also wanted to show you how this fleck is. See how it's kind of like just hanging off the yarn every so often. You have the fleck, and you have a little bit of that like fuzzy, hairy stuff that I was kind of picking at. So yeah, so let's cast it on, see how the machine likes it. I think it'll do okay. That's my prediction, but we shall see. Okay, as you saw in the video, yeah, I struggled with this yarn. Not my favorite at all. It feels very soft, guys. I'll read it out here in just a minute, but let's talk about this. I stopped at like 91 rows. I probably should have went maybe another 4 or 5 rows. I'll show you the hat here in a minute. I'll send it probably to my daughter for my granddaughter, because I think it'll make a nice hat for her while she's still little and it's still a little cold out. Yeah, she could probably still use it. However, okay, since this is how much of it I have left, so if I would have went, it would have taken almost all of it, first off, to do like the 100, like an adult size hat. But the fleck, the machine didn't like it. It would do okay for a while, and then it would get into one of those flecks, like and I'm talking about the hangy stuff on the yarn, like the green fleck, like as you can see, like right there. It would get into that, and it would crank harder. I had it pop. It started popping a few times. That's usually a telltale sign the machine's struggling, right? And I should probably stop. Then it seemed to be better, but then I noticed I had a tuck stitch. One tuck stitch. One tuck stitch leads to another tuck stitch, leads to another tuck stitch, leads to another tuck stitch, leads to a drop stitch. So I was able to fix them, and the yarn was stretchy enough that it wasn't too hard to fix them. Let me show you what the hat looks like. You can see I have a little bit of tension. Little tension variation, not too bad after having to fix all those tuck stitches, because sometimes it can get quite wonky. I had to stretch it really good where those spots were. I'll show you the other side. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad, right? There's a little bit of tension issue there and there. And that's what happens when you get a tuck stitch. Usually you can fix it. And I just snagged it here. You can fix it, but it sometimes will leave you with some variations in your tension, which I'm not a big fan of. So, when I have yarn like this, what do? I don't want to say I give up, but I don't want to fight the yarn. I don't want to break my machine. After fixing so many tuck stitches, unless it's a project I absolutely have to have done, I'm over it. So I cast off. This will be a nice, cute little, I might even use some of the leftover, put a little pom on top. That'll fit her quite nicely. She's like a month old. It might be a little big on her, but yeah, it'll make a nice hat for a baby. She might drown in it just a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll send it to her and make her take a picture, and I'll share it with you to let us know. Okay, so let's go ahead and rate it out. So for softness, it's pretty soft. I'm going to give it a 4 for softness. For color, I kind of like it. When I originally bought it, I bought it because, being that it was close to Easter time, it was before Easter that I bought it. It kind of reminded me like of Easter eggy, kind of like that kind of a pattern. I thought it was cute, very springy. So that the color, I'll give it a 4 for color as well. For ease of crankability, I'm giving it a 1 because it was so inconsistent and my machine was like, it was not having it, guys. And your machine might do just fine with it, but just know that you want to use the yarn before you buy the yarn because you might end up having troubles. So what I'm saying is, if you absolutely have to have the color and that style, then you could give it a go. And there's like fuzzes all going all over. But otherwise, be warned, it may be problematic for you because it definitely was for me. So definitely a 1 for ease of crankability. And overall loveliness, I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2. Not my favorite. Big Twist. Sorry, Joann's. The other thing is, I'm not sure. I always like a little halo, the fuzz. But this is reminiscent of like dog hair. I don't even know how else to describe it. I've seen other yarn that has the halo. It's like driving me nuts. So I'll send it to my daughter and I'll ask her what she thinks, if it's going to drive her nuts too. If she's a picker, so she might sit here and pick all those little, see, it looks like a hair. And at first I'm like, oh, one of my gray hairs is in there. And then I want to pick it off. So I don't know. But anyways, you might love it. I'm not a big fan. So hopefully this is helpful. Stay tuned to other future Will It Cranks. I've got some other things coming up, and we have lots of fun stuff coming for our new Crank Knit Network community. A new community for all of you crankers out there. So if you're not on my email list, go over to hoopandhome.com, scroll down to the bottom, get on the email list, or you can jump on our Zoom group email list where I send you information on our next Zoom where you can come craft with all of us and have fun and chit chat and get to know each other. And that's hoopandhome.com/Zoom group to get signed up for that. But hopefully this is helpful. Stay tuned for more of this. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. You have a great one. Remember, stay cranky. I'll see you later. Bye.